This is the 2016 LifeRing Annual Conference. LifeRing's mission statement is, LifeRing is an abstinence-based, worldwide network of people living in recovery from addiction to alcohol or to other non-medically indicated drugs. In LifeRing, we offer each other peer-to-peer support in ways that encourage personal growth and continued learning through personal empowerment. Our approach is based on developing, refining, and sharing our own strategies for continued abstinence and crafting a rewarding life in recovery. In short, we are sober, secular, and self-empowered. The ways that we support each other are as different as can be. We have face-to-face meetings throughout the world. We have a wide variety of online formats that add very real support for many. We need to grow all forms of the support we provide, not just for the sake of adding meetings, but for the sake of supporting people seeking a better life. Our participants around the world repeatedly respond to the question of what should LifeRing do moving forward, with a near universal agreement that we need more meetings of all kinds to support each other. I'm very happy to report that the future of LifeRing looks very, very good. There are many encouraging stories to tell about LifeRing over the past 12 months, and I hope to share as many as I can. Internationally, LifeRing Sweden has become a solid organization with a recently acquired grant to fund translation of LifeRing literature into Swedish. LifeRing Incorporated was offered and accepted a very generous agreement for the Swedish publications. The Swedish LifeRing meetings remain strong and supportive. LifeRing Ireland continues to develop their part of the world with LifeRing, contributing leadership in their face-to-face meetings and strong participation in many of our online formats. Irish meetings occur throughout the island. LifeRing London has grown in just 2 years into a vibrant community of 4 meetings. I had to update this just before coming to San Diego. They just started a 4th meeting that we found out about. In addition to the 4 meetings, they have a very active social media presence and are brilliant in their activism. LifeRing Canada continues to turn itself into a powerful force for choice in recovery. The organization is able to share many valuable lessons with LifeRing in general. LifeRing's online presence is evolving into something that we hope will be recognized equally as support for anyone in recovery. Online support can be every bit as powerful as any other form of support and has several advantages. Our online community continues to thrive and may be adding a new online video meeting format very soon. An organization called In the Rooms has invited LifeRing to begin a test of their state-of-the-art online video platform. LifeRing in the US is very exciting. There are so many developing stories, I can only hope to mention most. There are new meetings all over the country. Michigan appears to be on the verge of explosive expansion of new LifeRing meetings. A new program has been established to start several new LifeRing meetings in Western Michigan, beginning in Grand Rapids and expanding from there. The Michigan initiative has the potential of adding a minimum of 15 new LifeRing meetings over the next 12 months. Tom in Petoskey, Michigan, which is at the top of the Mitt for those of you that know Michigan, was instrumental in writing to state agencies and getting this process initiated. There are new meetings in Florida, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Kansas, Washington, Oregon, and Texas. LifeRing Utah is an especially strong representative for choice of support. Colorado has started too many new meetings to list here. They're amazing. There's a new meeting in Walla Walla, Washington, which shows enormous potential. The Walla Walla convener is a constitutional law professor. He's added strength to the discussion of clear and equal choice of recovery support being the only lawful way for publicly funded organizations to proceed. In California, there are new meetings in San Jose, Napa, Sacramento, and a brand new meeting starting this month in San Francisco. LifeRing Arizona has pioneered new approaches to the corrections world. We should all be very proud of the new meetings. We must continue to improve the organization at the operational level to accommodate the growth. Not just for the sake of new meeting listing, but for the very real support that we freely offer to people in recovery. We must support more and more new meetings. Indeed, more meetings means more support for more people, and that is the core of what we do. In order to establish new meetings, we need new conveners. There are many ways to do this, but the responsibility is ours. If we don't ask someone, they rarely volunteer without being asked. We can begin in our meetings by asking someone to perform a simple task such as reading an opening statement, reading a closing statement, asking them to substitute. I'm going to be out of town. Can you just watch this one meeting for me? Turn the lights on. Start the conversation. There's nothing wrong with directly asking someone to take on convening a meeting. The worst that can happen is they decline. That is always acceptable and must be respected. No harm, no foul. Please remember, though, that quite often a negative response simply means not now, not today. It could very well mean that if you ask again in a month or a year, the answer will be positive. Don't bug anybody, but don't hesitate to ask repeatedly. It is. One obstacle that I think I've noticed is a concern that a new convener may not be the same as you. I can guarantee you that none will be the same as you. Some will need some extra guidance and learning. Others may actually be able to hit the ground running, and many may actually be superior to you. I know I've experienced that. I think of all the conveners that have followed me, I think all of them are superior. And I welcome that. That's a tremendous feeling to watch someone take over a meeting and thrive. It's wonderful. A new convener will be fine so long as they follow our 3S philosophy: sober, secular, and self-empowered. They really don't need much more than that other than where the light switch is and where the doorknob is. Whether to start to their right or to their left. We are, after all, proudly non-professional, hopefully not unprofessional. We have many participants that fit that description. I think it says somewhere in How Was Your Week that the most difficult decision a convener makes on a regular basis is whether to begin the conversation to the right or the left. Recently, board member John Weinroth and I traveled to the East Coast for 2 separate conferences. I met with Cindy Kemp from Greenwich, Connecticut on April 29th in New York City to attend a conference on the use of transcendental meditation in recovery. After the conference, we were able to meet many important contacts, including Peter G. Dodge of the Peter G. Dodge Foundation. His foundation supports large efforts to combat the effects of alcohol addiction. Peter Dodge was the only panelist at this conference to openly mention the importance of additional options for people in recovery. He specifically stated that he was personally unable to find value for himself in the predominant support model. From there, from New York City, I traveled to Greenwich, Connecticut on May 1st to visit the LifeRing community in Greenwich at their Sunday meeting. There were 18 participants at the LifeRing meeting, which takes place in Greenwich Hospital. I'm very happy to report that the Greenwich LifeRing community is vibrant and thriving. On May 2nd, Cindy and I met with John Weinroth at the CCAR Multiple Pathways of Recovery Conference in Groton, Connecticut. We also met Eva Conroy from Boston, who we're thrilled to encourage in her efforts to start LifeRing in Boston. The Multiple Pathways of Recovery Conference was a wonderful event. John gave a fantastic breakout presentation about LifeRing and his personal experience surrounding support and recovery. Keynote presentations that I took notice of were given by Deb Detter of CCAR, Tom Hill of SAMHSA, and the founders of In the Rooms online video support, Ken Pomerantz and Ron Tannenbaum. These presenters were especially open to the concept of multiple pathways of recovery. Indeed, the entire theme of the conference being multiple pathways of recovery, it was the most open conference I've ever witnessed in that regard. It was like a breath of fresh air. Moving on, LifeRing's relatively new regional representative program is producing very positive results. Later today, I believe Craig will be presenting a report from Lisa in Akron, Ohio, who's taken over chair of the regional representatives. She's turned this concept of regional reps into, I think, potentially a very powerful force. It's exciting to see. Cindy, back in Greenwich, Connecticut, has been very effective in reaching out to the recovery community on the East Coast. Steve in the South oversees growth there. Dave in Colorado is a powerhouse. Mihaela in Utah has contributed immeasurably to LifeRing Utah and to the LifeRing Board. Team in the Southwest maintains a positive LifeRing community in Tucson and has given a huge contribution to the LifeRing Board in his role as secretary. The Pacific Northwest is currently represented by Jasmine in Portland, Oregon. And California is implementing 8 area representatives to help coordinate with the California regional representative. Robert and Craig work tirelessly in the service office doing all of the detail work that keeps us going. They answer phones, respond to and forward email, direct correspondence to an appropriate responder, ship books, and much, much more. Craig has recently designed a new starter kit for new meetings that includes our 3 books, a good supply of our brochures with new brochure racks, a donation basket, and tote bags for carrying all the goods to the meetings. Those of you may have noticed a display of that on the table out at the entry. I'm really impressed. It's a nice, neat, tidy little package that I hope everybody gets a chance to look at. Overall shipments of LifeRing books and literature are up, way up. We need to consider ways to relieve the burden in our office. Emily, Mahela, and Bobby have produced new versions of many of our brochures. They put an enormous amount of thought and effort into the new editions. The new brochures are available from our bookstore online and can be downloaded as PDFs to be printed remotely. Again, I want to thank the folks here in San Diego for having us. Arthur, Jeff, thanks very much. Rob, thank you. Barbara, thank you. Judy, very much.